I'm not even worried about what I say because you always make me look good, even if I feel like a fool every time I do this. You look like a giant.
Hi, I'm Phil.
I'm Mike. Spicy Mike to be exact.
Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
Tonight on the show, we're going to teach you how to make spicy Mike's Hard Lemonade. And here's a picture of it to our right. Well done. That was beautiful. That was nicely in tune. What are we doing here?
Today we're going to be making strawberry basil lemonade and maybe a strawberry basil habanero lemonade for the spicy boys out there. And this is my front herb garden. How cool. We're picking some basil right now.
Is this basil organic?
This basil is organic, Phil.
Hell yeah. It's organic.
Fertilized with fish sauce, basically.
Fish poop.
Okay, so we cut some basil. You're just gonna need about this much. We're not making a whole lot of the simple syrup, just enough to get those lovely herbaceous basil-y flavors out of it.
What are you doing?
I'm rinsing the basil so we don't get any dirt in our fancy drinks. So right now I'm just picking the basil. You've probably done this before. So
why are they orange?
Yeah, these lemons are pretty orange for lemons. That's because they're fancy Meyer lemons. These are the world's fanciest lemons. These lemons are a bit sweeter than most. That's why we're using them today. They'll be good for our syrup. So I just got one, I think pint of strawberries. It's one of the big containers you find at the store. I'm just chopping the tops off and I'm gonna be slicing them up into smaller slices to make the simple syrup with strawberries and basil. We're gonna slice them pretty thin just because the more surface area, the more we can meld those flavors in a short amount of time. It's gonna make a more pungent syrup and we don't got all day to let it sit in there. So nice thin slices just like that.
Hi, I'm Phil. I'm today's lemon squeezer. Here it is, the lemon. Mike's gonna chop the lemons and then give them to me using the power of movie magic. Watch this. Ta-da! So I'm gonna, well, it's what's called squeezing the lemons. And I'm gonna use my hands to do so. We're using a strainer in order to prevent those seeds from getting mingled in with the juice. And my methodology for squeezing lemons is to move the rind around in my hand in various fashions and then just squeeze the ever-loving hell out of it. 8 lemons.
8 lemons, 2 pounds.
2 pounds, aka exactly how many lemons we have. I'll be here forever and ever. Yeah! What a minch.
So as you can see, I told you earlier about how thin the strawberries need to be. These are very thinly sliced flopping strawberries.
Yeah!
Woo! Mike's got 2 little pots, 2 little pots, 2 little pots.
Beautiful. One of these is gonna be spicy because 80% of this room has power and 20% of this room is weak. We're using a habanero, just about half of one with the seeds removed. We're gonna make it really small just like everything else, just so we can get the maximum amount of habanero out of there. This is gonna add a little bit of heat, but mostly heat in this case. But it tastes really good too.
A beautiful insight into how Mike's mind works when it comes to peppers.
Exactly.
Oh, it's just a little bit of...
Habaneros are a really good choice to use in sweet things just because they're a little bit sweet. They've got like a nice bright taste to them. So we're just getting these pans warmed up. We're gonna put in half the strawberries in each one.
That's half a pint.
So for half a pint, which is 1 cup of strawberries, we're gonna use about 1 cup of sugar to start with. We might add more. We store our sugar in a bag so it doesn't get clumpy. So we're just heating up the sugar and the strawberries together. We're about to add some water in here. We use about 1 cup of water to 1 cup of sugar. Typical simple syrup. We've got the strawberries in there as well, so we might add a little bit more water. But strawberries are just water and sugar anyways. Shouldn't throw off our ratio too much. So we're gonna put these baby habaneros in the shiny pot. We're just gonna chop this basil up. You could do this all pretty if you wanted to, but we don't got time for that. It doesn't matter. We're gonna save a couple pieces to be pretty garnishes. And we'll just chop all this stuff up. We're gonna throw it in there with everything else. The smaller the better. We want to expose as much surface area as possible because we're making this flavoring of the syrup pretty quick. It doesn't have any time to sit there and let loose all of its basilness into the rest of it. One pinch for you, one pinch for you, one pinch for you. So as you can see, this is starting to bubble a little bit, meld together. We haven't even added any water yet. We're gonna add some more water. I think we'll maybe start with about half of a cup, and then we're gonna let that reduce until it's nice and syrupy. We use filtered water because it's better, I suppose.
Bold statement.
Half an each.
Yep, so right now we're gonna reduce these on low for a long time, let them get all syrupy, and then we'll strain them out later. You could also just leave the chunks in, depends on how you want your drink. We'll let them cook like this for, I'd say maybe about 15 or 20 minutes on very low. We might add more water to them later if they need it. But we just wanna get as much of that flavor out of the strawberries and the basil and the habaneros as we can. We've got just a little under a cup and a half of our lemon juice here. And for each drink, we'll probably do, we'll say we'll make these 5-ounce drinks and we'll go 20% lemon juice. So that means we'll do 2 shots of vodka, 2 shots of syrup, and 1 shot of lemon juice per drink. That should be pretty good, I think. And we'll shake that all up in an ice shaker. Might get a little bit watery from that too, which is fine because it should be very tasty.
Powerful drinks. I approve. We'll be back in 15 minutos. We're gonna go chop wood, bitch.
So we've got our not spicy pot of syrup that's nice and cooked down. Looks like it's pretty good consistency. Nice and syrupy. It's pretty light syrup because we're gonna be mixing this with some alcohol and we don't want it to be overly sweet. We just want it to be sweet enough. That's really good. Right now we're gonna pour it through a sieve. I'm gonna get all that stuff out of there. So we're just straining this all out. So there's no solids in there. Feel free to mash this stuff up a bit. And then you can definitely save this and put it on toast. Probably not a pizza, maybe a dessert pizza. But you can put this on toast or peanut butter and jelly. Or peanut butter and jelly or whatever you want.
Nice color.
Lovely, light red. Can't quite see through it, but it's not like super deep. It's gonna make for some yummy drinks.
What's it remind you of, Kevin?
It's warm too. And then we'll do the same thing with the spicy.
Do the same thing with the spicy.
So we're just gonna make these cocktail style. This is Russian Standard.
It's pretty good.
Beautiful vodka, pretty good vodka. So 2 ounces of vodka, there's ice in there. We'll do about 1 ounce of lemon juice. And we'll start with 1 ounce of this syrup. We might move it up to 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces. And that's it. 3 simple ingredients, 2 hours of your life, you're gonna have a cocktail. This doesn't actually take 2 hours. Only when I do it does it take that long. So this is nice and pretty, but I should have muddled some strawberries at the bottom there. Maybe put a little basil on top, make it real extra pretty for our boy. There you go. It's my first time making these drinks and this is trial run A. You know the ingredients, we just did them. We're gonna see if it tastes good and if not, we're gonna adjust it. It's pretty good.
I think you could use a tad more syrup, but it's very, very good. All those flavors come right through. I feel like at that ratio right there, that's like, if it's a real hot day and you don't want to be too stimulated, that would be really refreshing.
Now we're gonna do that again with the spicy ingredients. This time with about half shot more syrup because after taste testing it looks like it needs to be a little bit sweeter.
Well balanced.
Okay, James, you're on.
I'm on.
Yeah.
Let's try this basil strawberry concoction. That's so good. It's not burning my mouth. It's like caressing inside of my mouth. Like a rough sweater that feels good because it's a little scratchy.
You're good at TV.
I'll try it with my mouth. Oh, it's very good. It's much better with the spicy. And it's actually, I think it's very well balanced. So you get a lot of like the flavor notes of the pepper and not as much as the like, oh God, I got punched in the mouth with the spicy. It's just a little spicy. Very, very refreshing. I could drink a lot of these. Please move on to the next person. Harvest makes habanero margaritas.
That's really good. Well, pretty good. No, it's really nice. It's not too spicy. Just a little bit of that habanero in there, playing with the basil, strawberry sweetness. Mwah.
And that's how he did it, because I didn't do it. And Mike should say that's how you do it, because it's his recipe.
And that's how you do it. It's my recipe that I came up with right now.
What-
Live.
Tune in next time for live gladiator fights and